Howdy y'all, welcome to Haze and Barrel Craftworks. I'm the Alchemist, and today we're taking a look at a high proof rye. And this high proof rye is from Woodford Reserve. Now Woodford Reserve, they've had a 90 proof rye out for quite some time. Don't know exactly how many years, but their barrel strength rye has only been out since the end of 2025, and this inaugural batch came in at 125.1 proof. And it has a mash bill of 53% rye, 33% corn, and 14% malted barley. And if you take a look at that 53% rye, this makes this a barely legal rye. And that high corn, 33% corn, gives me the notion that this is going to be, a little bit sweeter. But that's just me. So I'm saying, let's pop this cork, give ourselves a pour, and see how far off my notion is. This one comes in at $129.99 for an MSRP, which, for Woodford Reserve, you take a look at their double oaked, and some of the Woodford Reserve single oaked. I mean, the double oak comes in right around that $50 range. The regular Woodford Reserve is right around that $30 range. So $129.99 for a Woodford Reserve. Yeah, it's pushing the limits, but we're talking high proof. We're talking 125.1 proof, which is kind of nice proof. So let's dive in on the nose on this one and see what we got already. Huh. High proof rye. I'm getting nothing typical rye on the nose. I'm getting, it's more woody. The oak is more present. The wood is more present. But to me, it's refined. And at 125 proof, I can nose this all day long. The ethanol, the alcohol is not really getting in the way of it. I'm getting a touch of leather. And might I say, even like a bit of tobacco, like fresh tobacco leaf, not dried up and rolled up in a cigar or anything like this. But let's jump in for some sips and let's see what we got. Huh. Again, unusual. Nice bit of heat on the tongue when I do that Kentucky Chew. I love that in a whiskey, especially a rye whiskey. Love that bit of heat. But honey is not something I usually associate with a rye, but it's on there. I'm getting honey. I'm getting clove. I'm not getting that typical rye spice. Honey, clove, and even a bit of raisin. But this has got me pondering something. So, the earlier video this week, we did the Old Forester. Today is Woodford Reserve. As I stated earlier, both Brown-Forman. They both use the exact same yeast strain. But you've got an Old Forester that's a column still. You've got this Woodford Reserve that's a pot still. But not only is it a pot still, it's a triple distilled pot still. So you triple distill a rye, which to me is uncommon. If any of y'all know of any other rye that's triple distilled for a Kentucky rye, put it in the comments because I'd love to know. I'm not familiar with any. It doesn't mean they don't exist. Just means I'm ignorant, right? But to me, that's refining this one a little bit. I'm not getting a typical rise. That doesn't mean this is not a good one. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying that honey. I'm enjoying those raisins. And instead of a typical rye spice, I'm getting cloves on this. It's good. It's good. And now that it's settling on my palate, again, that from the nose, I talked about being woody on the finish. I'm getting that woodiness, but I'm even getting on the palate, like the mid palate, a bit of molasses. That honey's staying on the tip of the tongue. That honey is, as I lick my lips, I've got honey, but a little bit of molasses on the mid palate. That barrel is coming in on the back of the palate on this finish, and on that finish with that barrel, now the baking spices come through. So again, this is not a typical rye to me. It's like it's a more refined rye. It's and like I said earlier, it's a barely legal rye, triple distilled, maybe a bit more refined. Oh, I love that heat on the tip of the tongue. 129.99. It's good. I like it. Here's what I got to say for y'all. If you're a typical rye guy and you've got to have that rye candy, or you've got to have that rye spice, and you've got to have that mintiness, or you've got to have those rye notes, this one might not be for you. But if you're a Woodford Reserve guy, like I am, and you like what they do with things, and to me this one's a little bit different, it's a good one. I like it. I'm glad I bought the bottle. $129.99. Would I buy another one? You know, maybe if it had about 10 more proof. If they get this one up to about 130, in that range, I'm keeping it on my shelf. Again, I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad I have it. I'm glad I'm sipping it. I'm not mad about any of it, but even more so, I'm glad to have you all here, and I love to have you all coming back around. So please, take it easy. Don't drink and drive. Cheers.